What is going on, guys? We are back with another video, and it seems like I do one of these what ifs every like 3 weeks. I don't honestly, the last one could have been months ago for all I know. But I seen this on Bengal's channel. Somebody commented this. Sorry, Bengal, if you were gonna do this. I don't know. I didn't see you respond to him, which honestly, actually, now that I think about it, probably means you are sorry once again. I don't know if anyone's done this, but if you know, the reason why I did this one though is if you know me, you'll know that I, for some reason, as a Packers fan, really don't like when people discredit the Bears. I don't know why, but I just don't think Jordan Howard got a good enough rep for what he did on the Bears last year. People are trying to say, oh, well, obviously Elliott's the number one 100%. I don't know if that's true. I mean, yeah, you can make the argument Jordan Howard is all they had. But at the same time, can you make that argument? Look at what the Rams did. Like Todd Gurley, like what is that, you know? So when you look at it at the end of the day, would Jordan Howard have done better than Elliott? And honestly, of all the what-ifs I've ever done and what I've ever seen, this could be one of those ones where it's still very even because the rosters we're using, which honestly, if you're really talking about it, it makes more sense to use these ones because no one was talking about Jordan Howard before the season. Obviously, people were talking about Elliott, but they weren't talking about him like they are now. So obviously, with Elliott's stats being the way they are, which honestly could be higher, this should be a very even, situation. Obviously, I would assume that the Bears won't make the playoffs still, but who knows? Maybe they do. This should be a very quick rebuild. But rebuild? It's not a rebuild. But this should be a very quick little video. I don't know the plans because it's not it's not like a quarterback or this or that. It is, running back. So we're just going to take a quick look. Might not even make it to video. But overall, I want to do more of these types of videos. I just don't see where I could fit them in the weekly rotation. My channel isn't as simple as some of the bigger YouTubers where they can just upload a couple a day and it works out for them. If I upload 2 a day, one video is going to have very low likes or views, and then the other video is going to have very low views. So I don't know why that happens, although I haven't tried it in a while. But overall, I just don't want to make 2 or 3 videos a day if you guys just don't want to watch that many. So it is what it is. But maybe these could make for the weekend. So before I let you guys know if we even made the playoffs at all, I should actually show you guys roster for roster, what we're dealing with. Of course, the Cowboys roster is better than the Bears. Not even a question. Question is, did the Bears do better? If you guys don't do franchises or you don't do rebuilds or such like that, the Bears, they're a pretty solid 5-win team every year. And the Cowboys, they're kind of on and off, but they make the playoffs just about every time. Elliott actually makes as the highest overall. I thought he was an 88. He might have actually had a really good season. Of course, not nearly the talent that the Cowboys have on basically both sides of the ball. I know the offensive line is actually getting a little bit better for the Bears, but defensively, they're still rocking with a bunch of free agents. A lot of free agents, actually, and a lot of young talent. Well, I don't know if I want to call it talent, to be honest. So the first thing that should be known is we actually missed the playoffs, 6-10. How much? Actually, I think we might run it back. I think that's going to be the move, is we're going to take a look at what it is without and with. It makes sense to do it like this, actually. And so Dak Prescott actually had a really good season, despite the fact that we missed the playoffs. So Jordan Howard, 3.6 a carry. That's not great, especially with 6 fumbles. Behind his O-line, I'm going to say that Elliott did better with the Bears than Jordan Howard did with the Cowboys. I mean, look at this O-line. They did really well, and yet it just didn't come to play. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see this. I don't think there's a way, like I said, that Elliott could have done worse than Howard, and we could see it clear as day that Jay Cutler did not do as well as Dak, but Elliott himself outperformed Howard, which is, I'm actually surprised. I know the better player, it makes more sense, but with an O-line like the Cowboys, you would think that they would have done better. Look at that, 24 sacks given up, 11 there, 6 there. Clearly, they're almost twice as good as the Bears' offensive line. Defense clearly wasn't that good either. I'm a little curious. How well did the Bears couldn't have done well. There's no way. They might have done better than us, though. Did they make the playoffs? Could you imagine if Elliott? No, I don't think so. But to say, I don't think there's many things that can do better. Yeah, 3-13 still. Let's go back. We have the stats. I'll probably show them on the screen whenever we're done. Let's do this thing again and see if it's better for them to stick on their own teams. Now, basically, I mean, it's pretty common sense. What we're dealing with here is more or less, is it better for Howard to be on his own team? I don't think there's really a chance that Elliott does worse with the Cowboys than he did with the Bears. But is that argument, well, that's all the Bears have, is that a valid argument in assessing how well Howard did? I don't think so, because at the end of the day, you game plan for what you see. So why would, you have one whole year and you're not going to adjust to the player? I know it doesn't take much to adjust to the Bears probably, but still, I mean, at the end of the day, we're making a video here, and the what if is real, because we know that Elliott outperformed Howard on his team, but can Howard somehow prove that he is actually better as a Bear, or maybe even better as a Bear than Elliott was as a Bear? So, I mean, it's interesting. I don't think so, but anything can happen. The Cowboys did go 6-10 first season. Obviously, Bears were 3-13. I would assume both teams are actually going to go up. The Bears are probably going to be a 5-11, while the Cowboys are probably 11-5. So we can see we actually made the playoffs with a bye week. Elliott didn't go up in stats, but we are 11-5 like I expected. I should have showed that we didn't force win. I don't know why you would think I would try to cheat in favor of the Cowboys, because like I said, I was on the side of the Bears, thinking Howard might have been better than Elliott last year. I guess the first thing we should take a look at is how well did the Bears do. I don't think I've ever seen them year one make it to the playoffs. They're 7-9. That's a shocker. Like, I said 5-11, but even that was a reach. Le'Veon Bell was the best back. Dak Prescott threw more touchdowns. I think overall he actually did really well. Zeke did worse than he did on the Bears. Interesting. I don't know if that's once again because, what is it called? Because there's not much going on over there. We're just going to take a look at all the stats just so we can kind of compare the defenses. Obviously, how well your defense plays does factor in. If your defense is good, you're going to run the ball more. It's pretty obvious. And then if your defense is bad, you're going to be in games where you're not going to run the ball as much. So let's go to the Bears, see how Jay Cutler did. So Jay Cutler was not the starter. I think he regressed because I have injuries off. I have injuries off 100%. Jordan Howard, I mean, he did better, but he fumbled less as well. So overall, Jordan Howard is... they're both consistent, but I don't know. This is weird. I'm trying to assess. I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to figure out. I just don't know where I'm going with this. Jordan Howard, 5 touchdowns receiving. How many did good old buddy boy do? So Elliott didn't have 5 touchdowns. So Elliott didn't really outperform him too much. He didn't fumble as much, which is huge. Let's take a look at... we should have looked at blocking, actually. So the Cowboys' offensive line actually did worse now. Bears' offensive line did a little better, kinda. Defensively, a couple of picks, nothing too spectacular. Sacks, a bit better than the Cowboys, actually. Look at this great picture that I came up with. I know it looks like absolute AIDS, but long story short, these are stats. God, that is so beautiful. But these are the stats from Elliott's seasons as the Bears and the Cowboys this year. By the way, the Cowboys didn't make the Super Bowl, so no worries about that. But of course, you could see here that he did play better. Let me see, did he? Well, I think he played better as a Bear. He just didn't get any more, he just didn't get as many carries. So he did get more, he did get a better season as the Bears. You could see throughout those stats that it's very obvious. So kind of, you know, that's one way to look at it. Oh, I mean, even better now, this image. But of course, if you look at Jordan Howard now, he also did better with the Bears. So the thoughts that maybe Howard was only beastie because they had nothing is valid. This one's a little bit more dramatic, in my opinion, than the Elliott jump. But, I mean, it looks pretty obvious to me that being on the Bears helped both of them their quote-unquote rookie years. Which is, I mean, it's a good what if because it kind of, I mean, it doesn't prove it, you know. We'll just let the numbers show. But that argument of, was Jordan Howard only good because he was on the Bears? You have that argument, was the Cowboys O-line better for Zeke? And in this scenario, technically it wasn't, which is very interesting. And then, of course, if you look at the most AIDS pitcher of all time, you'll see the comparison. I don't recommend staring at it too long, as you might have a seizure / like just hemorrhage. But overall, I mean, if this were a true tale of the tape, Jordan Howard benefited from his team more than Elliott. That's what this tells me. Obviously, this isn't, you know, the truth or this or that. Who's going to have a better season next year? I don't know. Probably Elliott, but at the same time, the Bears are in rebuilding mode, let's be honest. Well, the Cowboys are in reloading mode. They're just waiting for that final piece or just, you know, the right scenario, as they were very close to the Super Bowl as well. I know my Packers beat them, but it was only a 3-point game. And they were one of the more complete teams in the league, I'd like to think. So interesting to see where they go. Let me know what your favorite team is in the comment section. That's a fun what if. What if you guys told me your team name in the... I'm sorry. But obviously, Elliott of the two was better. And then conclusion, of course, Bears, being on the Bears was better for both of them. Maybe more what ifs in the future. I only did this because I seen this on Bengals channel again. So if you haven't seen his channel, check it out in the description. Somebody mentioned in the comment section. I didn't see him respond, like I said. I know Bengals gonna have tons of what ifs. So if you do enjoy that style and you don't see any from me, there should be some on his. I know there's already a Dak Prescott one. I don't really see myself doing many more of these. But if I see a good idea that you know, there's no one's ever done or no one's going to do, I might try it. So I mean, we'll see. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Tomorrow will be probably draft champions and seasons. I don't know, or maybe draft champions in primetime league. We'll see. But of course, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and hopefully I catch you guys from next video. But until next video, see ya.